The first or second day at work, there was two F50s, two F40s, an Enzo, and 275 GTB. Every notable car that you could think of in the Ferrari lineup at the time. And I was a bit intimidated, but they are just cars at the end of the day. As strange as that sounds, it has four wheels and it works the same way as 90% of the cars on the road. I'm Mike, motoring magic, keeping vintage cars alive in New York. An OG rag. I grew up in Riverdale in the Bronx, and in the 90s when I was a kid, people were still using these, what we call antique or vintage cars now, as means of transportation. So they were doing everything they could to keep them on the road, especially in my neighborhood.
Your pops had a shop, right?
Yeah, this location since 1983. It's been here a very long time in Yonkers. My mom was a bit apprehensive at first because garages are noisy, dirty, and kind of dangerous for a child. But I started to spend my summers working here. It's probably 13, right when I became a teenager. So I think that gave me a pretty healthy jump start on my knowledge base with cars. I remember breaking lots of stuff, blowing lots of stuff up, not on purpose, but that's really how I think I learned the most about mechanical stuff. Learning how they're assembled, what makes them work, and what makes them break. I was lucky enough to grow up in this shop when I was younger, and I really have traveled all over the country for cars. My mother, Chinese mother, very adamant about education, and my father being supportive. He found me a 4-year accredited college for automotive restoration. And it was in the most rural small town in Kansas. And at the time, I really dreaded it, but I kept in contact with a few of my classmates from that time. And years later, I think I was on Facebook talking to one of my old classmates. I goes, "Oh, my company out here is looking to hire for a Ferrari shop. I think you'd enjoy it." I had no real responsibility in my life at that point, so packed up my bag, I interviewed, and set out to LA. That sparked 10 years of very high-end, high-dollar collector cars that I got to work on. And it kind of opened up my eyes to like a completely different world in the automotive segment versus what I grew up doing summers here with my father, so it was a lot of fun.
That's a crazy story.
So yeah,
Wait, okay.
Kansas to California, and now back to New York.
Okay, let's wind back a little bit. What school in Kansas? How the fuck did you find that?
McPherson College.
An hour north of Wichita, Kansas, nestled not far from a working farm and a windswept lavender field, sits McPherson College, where students can major in restoration technology. Courses focus on the techniques required to work on cars built before 1970.
I remember being young and my dad was subscribed to this really small black and white for the most, I think it had 3 color pages printed, called The Auto Restorer. And I guess the college had an advertisement in like the back page of it when they used to do that stuff. And it stuck with him. And when I was ready to look at schools, that was his suggestion.
You grew up in the Bronx and you go to Kansas.
Yeah, it was a little culture shock.
Yeah, how was that, man?
We hung out in lots of fields and it was a little culture shock. Midwestern people are extremely friendly and kind, so it wasn't too hard to adjust. I don't think At the time, I realized how much I had actually learned and absorbed from the program. As I got older and moved deeper into the field, I did have a lot of skills that I guess a lot of people don't learn along the way, especially on the older stuff and being a restoration school. It's not antiquated, but it's just not taught at all. So it becomes forgotten skills and experiences, which I think are why there's not more restoration shops around.
All right, so you accept the job in California. What was going through your mind when you first landed?
I had some cousins. I stayed with them when I first moved out there, and they kind of helped ease me in. I didn't feel like I was completely a fish out of water, but it was still very intimidating. The first or second day at work, there was 2 F50s, 2 F40s, an Enzo, 250 short wheelbase, 275 GTP. Every notable car that you could think of in the Ferrari lineup at the time. And I was a bit intimidated, but you feel more at ease when you do remember the fundamentals that they are just cars at the end of the day. As strange as that sounds, you sometimes have to minimalize them and take away their crazy aura that's around the car and just remember it has 4 wheels and it works the same way as 90% of the cars on the road. I got into a good rhythm there though, and I have a pretty broad skill set, so I was able to prove my worth, and I fit in quite well after a couple months.
What made you come back to New York?
So when I was in California, I got a call that my father had a stroke, and luckily it didn't affect him physically. Still has full mobility, but he had some aphasia, which is basically affects speech and hearing, like the cognitive part of it. So he had recovered for the most part, but it was a good reality check that nobody lives forever. I was getting into my 30s and he's in his 70s, so I didn't want to not be around for some just good years in general to spend with my parents, as they make a lot of sacrifices for us. So I felt it's probably good to give back and be close to family, because at the end of the day, that's what's most important. Ever since I was a kid, I've always manifested ideas of like, how could the shop be? Well, I just wanted to pursue that vision. So as much as I was comfortable on the West Coast, I mean, the weather was great and I made a lot of friends and connections. There's nothing quite like New York. I know it's hard to tell, but I've been making strides to clean up the space. But I always tell people this is a working garage. It's not built for social media or anybody else. It's a very familiar setting and comfortable. And if your work is good, you don't really need to, I feel like, hide behind a whole bunch of not unnecessary stuff, but you shouldn't have to change drastically to try to create an image that isn't at your core. No, my father's been here. I wouldn't call him a pillar of the community, but he's been here since the 80s. So people need to get to work and have regular cars and jobs. It'd be kind of, I think, insulting to just turn them away. Let's check it. Hello. The image of strictly working on exotic stuff, then working on regular cars, it might confuse or drive away some people, but I think if you're working carefully and you do good work, it's not too much of a concern. what type of cars are being worked on at the shop. And if that does drive certain customers away, then to some degree, I guess I am not the shop for you.
I heard you're looking for help.
Yes.
How can people work with you?
They can email, but I am an old school type of guy, so there's nothing better than a face-to-face, and always doors are open here at 79 Palisade Avenue, Yonkers, New York, Monday through Friday. And I'm happy to sit down and ask some questions if you're genuinely interested in pursuing a career with older vehicles.